What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Jenks Hammer Podcast. Week 11 is officially here. Me and Jenks are coming off two tough losses with our teams, Saints and the Packers, both dropping two tough games.
Rough.
But me and Jenks were both able to bounce back in fantasy this week. As you guys know, we managed a team. We made some blockbuster trades, and by doing so, we were able to beat the number one team in the league. So we're going to get into that at the end after we make our Week 11 picks. But let's get right into it.
Welcome to the Jenks and the Hammer podcast, bringing you the latest NFL news and insights from the perspectives of two die-hard fans. So sit back, relax, and get ready for some football talk with Jenks and the Hammer.
And here we go.
All right, guys, getting right into our Week 11 picks. Last week was a rough week, like Hammer said, for the Packers and the Saints, coming off rough losses. Luckily, the Saints have a bye week, but Hammer might have to endure a rough Packers loss this week. Hammer and I both did well picks-wise on the picks front. We both went 10-4, and Hammer is now 94-56, whereas I am 90-60. So nice round number for me there. Hopefully, I'm able to bounce back this week. Before I get into the picks, just wanted to let you guys know to remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Comment your favorite team down below. Let us know which team you'll be rooting on this week, and we'll try to comment back and let you know what we think of your team. So getting right into Thursday Night Football, we got the Bengals taking on the Ravens. Both teams with rough losses last week. Pretty heartbreaking losses for both teams. The Bengals looked like they had a comeback brewing, and then the Texans and C.J. Stroud kind of crushed it with a game-winning field goal. Then you had the Ravens coming out, taking a huge lead, 24-9 versus the Browns, and then Deshaun Watson coming out and leading a comeback. I think he was 14-14 in the fourth quarter during that comeback at a span, and they came back and they won. And the Ravens looked like they had it all but in the bag, and they choked it away. So it was a rough loss for the Ravens there. And in my opinion, this is a tough game. I think this is going to be I want to say high scoring, but I think it'll be mid-20s probably for both teams. And I think it'll be a close one. I think the Ravens pull it away and win at home.
Yeah, this is like you said, this is great Thursday night football matchup, something we haven't had since week 1. You know what? If you guys are real fans, back to the predictions videos, I was really on Cincinnati. Rough start, starting to turn around. Last week, that was a tough loss, but hey, that Texans team's playing really good. CJ Stroud's playing really good, playing honestly, like an MVP. I'm going to take the Bengals here. They've been playing good. Last week was tough. I think they bounce back, and this is going to be my underdog pick of the week. I think they bounce back, and they get a big-time win on the road against a division rival.
I respect it, man. And who knows? It's a big showdown. Probably the best Amazon Thursday Night Football game we've had so far since it's been on Amazon. So look forward to a good matchup tomorrow night. Or tonight now that you guys are seeing this. So next game, we got the Cowboys taking on the Panthers. And this is just going to be a blowout, in my opinion. I think the Cowboys and Dak Prescott's playing like MVP right now. He's playing at MVP level. We'll see if he keeps it up the rest of the season. I'm going to go Cowboys here in a blowout.
Yeah, he just played against the Giants. It's not too tough to put up numbers on them. But, yeah, I'm going with the Cowboys, too.
Yeah, he's been consistent, though, so I'm not going to...
Yes, new fantasy quarterback, but we're going to get into that later.
We'll be biased. I'll be biased to him until he proves me or tells me I shouldn't. So next game, you got the Steelers taking on the Cleveland Browns. Another big game here. The start of the week, this was like, holy crap, this is a big game for AFC North. Yeah. The AFC North's balling out. All 4 teams have playoff chances right now. So now with the news that Deshaun Watson is now out for the year, this game's a little bit less attractive to the eye, but it will be a good defensive battle. 2 teams with great defenses and lackluster offenses. But I think I'm going to go Steelers here. Coming out against, I believe the Browns came out and said that Dorian Thompson-Robinson is going to be their starting quarterback the rest of the way, or at least for now. And I think the Steelers defense is going to do what they can to shut them down. I think the Steelers win. Kenny Pickett has a couple touchdowns, and then maybe George Pickens throws another tantrum when he's knocking in a touchdown.
I think this is good, like you said, going to be a really good game, defensive battle. Green Bay just played Pittsburgh last weekend, so I had a good chance to watch Pittsburgh, sit down and watch it for a full game. I don't know. I mean, they beat us. Packers are not a good team, though. Steelers are not a good team. I don't know. A little banged up. Offense is shaky. I don't know. Jordan Love had a good day throwing wise. Not that that's going to matter because now the Cleveland Browns don't really have a QB, but like
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the defense is going to shut down Pittsburgh's offense. You know what I mean? And I believe they played. This is the second time playing. They played earlier in the season, and the
Yeah.
Steelers won because of their defense. They stepped up, made some plays, but I think Week 11. I think Cleveland's defense is going to show, and I think Cleveland's going to get the win.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind the pick, but it's just tough for me to pick them with the rookie quarterback stepping in under center. And keep in mind, they're also down Nick Chubb still. Who knows? Maybe Kareem Hunt, Jerome Ford, they have a good game, but I think the Steelers defense
I
just.
don't think Kenny Pickett's good.
I mean, he definitely has been underwhelming. I'll say that.
Oh.
I'll say that. Then you got kind of another toilet bowl. You got the Bears taking on the Lions, and this is a game for the Lions just to show out again that they're a dominant team on both sides of the ball. I think the Lions blow out the Bears at home in Detroit.
Yeah, Lions easy win.
Yeah, and there's not much to say. And then the next game, since I'm not the Packers fan on this podcast, I'm going to let Hammer do a little bit of elaboration as to what he thinks about this game, but I'm going to go Chargers here, beating the Packers in Lambeau.
Nice. Yep. Sadly, I'm the Packers fan in this podcast. Yeah, this is gonna be how would you put probably a shit show at Lambeau. Green Bay is probably gonna get blown out. They are just too young, don't know how to win yet, can't close out games when they are in close games, and they don't have the firepower on offense to keep up with the Chargers team. You know what I mean? Like, even though the Chargers defense is not even that good, I mean, as you saw,
It's not.
they give up a lot of points, but like at the same time,
Their offense.
we still can't keep up with that offense. And
Yeah.
Green Bay's defense is a mess. Injuries left and right. It's not looking good. You know, I was hoping we could win last week against Pittsburgh, more winnable game. You know what I mean? Kind of turn things around. That wasn't the case. And I don't think you're going to turn things around against the Chargers, even though you're at home. So I'm going to go with the Chargers too.
I respect that. I mean, hopefully at least it works for you this week. Maybe the Packers pull out a win because it doesn't mean anything for me if we both lose. So anyways, next game, you got the Arizona Cardinals taking on the Houston Texans. And the Cardinals just came away with a win against the Foul Clowns. And it shows a little bit like they have a little bit of a spark now with Kyler Murray back. And this is an interesting game because CJ Stroud right now is playing. He could be that first rookie to win an MVP in an extremely long time. And I'm talking like decades here upon decades of time. So this is an interesting matchup. I think the Texans have a good home environment. They're going to be ready. The fans are going to be hyped up for a team that's on a pretty good roll going into this game. But this is going to be one of my underdog picks of the week. I'm going to go the Cardinals here, beating the Texans in Houston.
That's a crazy pick.
I got to believe in Kyler, man. OU, Boomer Sooner.
You sure with that pick? You're keeping that?
I'm sure. I'm keeping it. I gotta catch up to you somehow. I think this is one of these games.
I think this is where you drop lower than me, but even
We'll
lower. But all right. Hey, Houston is hot right now. They are playing good football. CJ Stroud's playing like an MVP. Coming off a big win in Cincinnati. Cincinnati is, they're a good team. You know what I mean? They struggled early, but they're a good team. Good QB, good weapons, good D, right? They just beat them in Cincinnati. Like, now they're back home taking on the 2-8 Arizona Cardinals. Like, that place is going to be rocking. They got something to root for now. Like, last time they were in Houston, they had that crazy game with Tampa. I don't know. I think that place is going to be rocking because Houston has a QB now. We have a QB now. So I'm going to go with the Texans.
Yeah, I mean, it's what I should be doing, but I'm going to stay with my pick. I'm going to stay with my pick, I believe. Then next game, you got the Titans with Will Levis, the Mayo Man, taking it on the Jaguars, who, I'm going to be honest, completely exposed last week. And I called it. I completely called it. I said for multiple weeks now that the Jaguars are frauds. I don't think they're good. And they showed it last week. They lost, I think, 37-3, something like that. Yeah. And it was just a mockery of a game because they came out with hope and everything like that at home. I think it was in Jacksonville as well.
They did play San Fran though. Like San Fran is legit, and San Fran was
They were
in.
coming off.
Hold
San
on,
Fran was coming off
but
3 straight losses, though.
yeah, but exactly, San Fran was in playoff mode, desperate win time. Like they haven't won a game in a month, 3 games
Yeah,
plus
but
the bye.
I'd understand that. I'd understand that if it's close, but 37-3 or whatever it was, the blowout that happened there, you can't let that happen. It might have been. No, I think it was at home. It was in Jacksonville, and
Yeah,
you
it
can't let that
was.
happen there. You can't
Yeah,
let
I
that
get
happen.
that.
They
I
come into
get
your
that.
house, into Duval, and they just blow them out. Like, you can't let it happen, and I think the Jaguars are frauds, but I do think they win this game because the Titans are. I mean, let's be real.
Titans
They're
are
the Titans.
bad.
Titans are
Like,
bad.
They're,
Yes,
they're a
but
bad
the
football team.
Jaguars are a little bit better. So
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Jags. Jags are they're a good team, not a great team. Like Jake's got mad when I predicted them to be the number 3 seed in the AFC, and
because
I'm
what the
like,
hell is that?
yeah, because you gotta listen. Like the division's pretty crappy, right? Yes or no? Yes. So like you gotta think about 6 wins, but like now week 11, you're like, oh, Texans are pretty good, right? No one thought CJ Stroud would be playing like this. Like, oh, the Colts are kind of decent. They got five wins. Like I'm just saying, like going into the season, like they got a good team, good roster, and like yeah, they got a pretty easy division. That's 6 games right there. That's 6-0. So I thought they could do a little better. They're still playing pretty good. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
they're
I
not
have a good,
they're not
good
playing bad.
record and everything, but yeah, I mean, are they on that same level as like a San Fran? No, but like they're up there with good teams. You know what I mean? They're still a young team. Is what it
Yeah, I
is.
mean, but here's my thing is Trevor Lawrence is a little bit underperforming right now. I think he
Oh,
still only has 9 passing touchdowns, and for the belief that fans had for him after the past season and going into this season, I think he's let them down, and who knows, maybe he bounces back. Anyways, next game you got the Raiders taking on
well,
the
I didn't make my
Dolphins.
pick. I didn't make my pick.
What are you doing?
I'm going with the Titans. No, I'm going with Jacksonville. But like like we just said, I mean, yeah, they're underperforming a little bit. They're still first in
Yeah.
the division, so give them some credit there. Houston's catching up though, but I'm gonna go with Jacksonville.
Yeah, I think Houston might take this division for their own if they continue the pace, but I'm sticking with the Cardinals this week. Anyways, the next game, you got the Raiders taking on the Dolphins in Miami Hard Rock Stadium, and the Raiders are on a roll. But here you got to think about it. The last 2 games they've played
Yeah,
the Giants and the
yeah,
Jets,
they played the New York teams.
New Jersey team, whatever. Anyways, yeah, it's like
No, I
2
don't. I
crap
don't want.
teams.
I don't want those teams with that with that
You don't
New
want the
Jersey title.
association.
No.
Yeah, it's a rough. I think it's a rough games. I mean, they do have hype, like the team's building around Antonio Pierce, and they have a little bit of momentum, but I don't think it's going to be enough for them to beat the Dolphins. I think the Dolphins come out ready to go, and I think Tyreek Hill has a big game. Dolphins win.
Yeah, I'm taking the Dolphins here pretty easy. Yeah, Raiders. They 2-0 against 2 crappy football teams with new head coach playing hard for him. You know what I mean? He's a former player. But I mean, Miami's just on another level from the Raiders, and yeah, Tua better go off for my fantasy team. And shout out to Max Crosby. I think he's the most underrated player in the NFL.
Yeah, I guess you could say that because
I think he's the
he's
most
right now.
underrated
I
player.
think he's tied 4th, maybe tied 3rd right now with
I
9.5
think
sacks.
I think
Whatever.
you could put him at the. If you said he's the best defense player in the league, I would say yeah.
I don't
Like
think
he's that good. He's
there are
that good.
arguments you can make that 100%. I agree. Like
His
he's that good, but I think he's
his
also like he's really the only guy on that D line that like you are afraid of. Like, so they're able to kind of just focus on him,
Yeah,
limit him a
and
little
they
bit on
and
that
they
side.
still can't stop him.
Yeah,
His
he still has
motor is
9.5
just
sacks.
unbelievable. Like he just keeps on going. He doesn't come out for a play. He's unbelievable. He's a stud. But yeah, I like him a lot. But yeah, I'm taking Miami.
I like it. I like it. So I think so far we've disagreed on 2 games. Hopefully there's a couple more down
Two,
below.
three, 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 three.
3 maybe? Okay. Okay. Yeah,
Three.
hopefully there's a few more. We'll take a quick break. Remember to comment your team down below. Let us know what you think of our first half picks.
All right, second half for Week 11 picks. Here we go. We got the Giants taking on the Commanders. I don't even know what to say. I'm just gonna take the Commanders.
No,
Anything?
I'll take the Commanders here too. But I just want to say, Hammer, is there like a lot of Italians like cheering on Tommy DeVito every 2 seconds in New Jersey, or is that
No,
kind of just like folklore? Because I
no.
feel like
So Tommy DeVito went to Don Bosco, which is 15 minutes away from my house. I live right in this area.
the
MetLife's 20
hometown
minutes
kid.
from my house. Um, Yeah, even though he's a Jersey guy, right? Went to high school right over here. Nobody is a fan of him,
I just and the funny story with him was
which is
how
pretty
he
sad. But
yeah,
yeah,
that's disappointing. But
no
like
one's a fan.
he came out with that story like saying to everyone that, "Oh yeah, I live at my parents' house. My mom makes my bed." I'm like, dude, you're in the NFL. Why are you bragging about this to people? Like it's not something you want to brag about. So it's just kind of like this is the guy leading your organization, Giants. This is the guy you want
Hey,
taking charge.
New Jersey's best.
If that's your best hammer, then New Jersey's got some problems. Anyways, I'll let you go to the next game.
I don't even know what other football. Rashawn Gary, New Jersey's best. I'm trying to think of other Jersey NFL guys.
There's probably a good amount, but
Yeah, top guy, probably Rashawn Gary.
DeVito, Tommy.
No. All right, next game. Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going to San Fran to play the Niners. Tampa Bay, right? Kind of on and off every week. Some
God,
week
dude.
you think they got something, other week they're going down the toilet. San Fran's just a mismatch for anyone at home. Coming off a big time win against a good
Mhm.
team in Jacksonville, and they bounced back, which they needed to because they haven't won a game in a month. And man, that Jacksonville game, I watched it with my dad. Whew, that defensive line for San Fran, it's just
Legit.
like you just look at it and it's just like Young, Bosa, Armstead, Hargrave. You know what I mean? It's just like, how do you block these guys? They don't have to blitz. It's just
Yeah, because
boom,
you can't
right
double
there.
team one. You can't do
You
it. I
can't.
mean, because then you open up a gap for one of the other ones. So it's dangerous.
It is dangerous. And yeah, I'm gonna take San Fran here.
Yeah, I'm going to go 49ers too, but I will give the Bucs props here. You finally won a game, 1-3 after posting that you own the South. So I think they're third right now. So suck it, Tampa. You suck. Anyways, 49ers.
Hey, they're 4-5. They're right there.
Yeah, I don't care. Screw the Bucs.
They're
I, w-
right there.
I will
What's
say
your
this,
what's
though.
your
I
what's
like
your
Baker. I
what's
like the
your
way
record?
Baker's doing. Hey, we're
What's your
five and
record
five. We're
again?
500. We're
You're one
500.
game better than
We're
them.
top of the South. We're top of the South. That's what matters.
That's not a proud
Look at
thing.
me. I
That's
can't even
a
keep a straight face. We're actually terrible. But I
yeah, I
can
know.
hate on the Bucks until the end of time. So
Top of the South. It's like the worst division of football.
don't look at the color of my shirt. Don't look at it.
Big Tampa guy is wearing red. For everyone listening on Spotify and Apple Podcast.
All right, get
All
into this
right,
game.
next game we got Jets and the Bills. Wow, I don't even know what to say.
Both teams.
The Jets are the
Man.
Jets. I get a lot of people come up to me, a lot of Jets fans, and they're just like, "Thank you for your garbage." Lazard, Cobb, Billy Turner, Adrian Amos. Half of the team is Green Bay Packers who went over there, go play with Rodgers. They're all playing terrible. Cobb hasn't played in like 2-3 weeks. Not an injury, just haven't even dressed because you know
He's old.
bad. I love you, Cobb, but bad. So I get hate on my boys every week. Jets are a mess. Defense is okay. I still think I think they're a little overrated. A lot of people say like one of the top units in the NFL. I think a little overrated for that. Offense line can't protect. Wilson's like he stinks, but he's like sometimes he's just like not terrible.
He makes one good play a game.
But then
Tell
he's
you
only
that.
got one real receiver. Like Lazard has not been playing good, and then they got no offense line. Brees Hall's like been playing good, but you can only do so much. And
You
then
can't
on
run the
Buffalo,
ball when you're
man,
down. Yeah.
yeah. And then for Buffalo, I mean, who is this team anymore? I mean, you know what I mean? You're coming in with expectations to win a Super Bowl, and it just has not been going your way. I mean, you're 5-5. It's been a weird start to the year. I think they're gonna pick it up. You know what I mean? I think they're gonna pick it up with the
They
leadership
should.
of Josh Allen and
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Because say what you want to say. Does he turn the ball over? Yeah, but like he's an elite guy. You know what I mean? And those elite guys, they don't stay like that for very long. So I've got a feeling he's gonna, you know, lead a comeback for this team for the rest of the year. They just fired their offensive coordinator. So, we'll see what that does, how that changes. You know what I mean? Um, tough loss against the Broncos at home. You know what I
God,
mean? That's just a heartbreaker. Monday night, you're going against the Broncos, who were not a very good football team. Now they're on a run, but like, you know what I mean? That's for the Buffalo, that was like a get right game. You know what I mean? And they didn't get right. So it's like,
It got
where do you
worse.
go from now? Now you got to go beat a division rival at home. This is a must win for Buffalo. I think this is going to be an ugly game just based off of how both teams are playing, but I'm going to go Buffalo.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Buffalo here too. Kind of a bounce back week for them. But yeah, like you said, that you can't lose at home like that. 12 men on the field, 12 men on the field after you missed a field goal. Like I'm sitting there as a Saints fan. They have Will Lutz, and so I'm sitting there like Saints are actually looking like they did all right by choosing Groupie over Will Lutz. He missed a PAT early in the game, then the holder messed up. Then Will Lutz trots out here. I'm like, man, this could be big nuts Lutz, or this could be like the guy that's Lutz now, just not really a good kicker. He goes out there, misses the field goal wide right, and I'm like laughing hysterically. I'm like, holy crap, he actually missed. And then I see that flag, and I'm like, oh my God, Bills, you somehow found a way to lose this game still. So rough for them. I will say that them firing Ken Dorsey, their offensive coordinator, made no sense to me. I think it was a little bit of a scapegoat. Just statistically, like they're 8th in points a game, 7th in yards a game, 5th in points per play, 3rd for yards and yards per play, 2nd and 3rd down conversion, and 5th in touchdowns a game. So it's like they're not doing poorly. I think the defensive side of the ball is like costing them more games than the offense, but they have a lot of injuries. So
Yeah.
I just think the Bills just need to find their stride. I think they'll be all right, but I'm going to go Bills as well.
Next game, we got another division matchup. We got the Seattle Seahawks going to LA to take on the Rams. Seattle just, put together a pretty good win against the Commanders. Seattle's just like kind of like Jacksonville, really. You know what I mean? I
Yeah, I
think
think that
going into
yeah.
the year, I think you had expectations of playoffs and maybe a 10-win season. And they're keeping their hopes alive for that, definitely. I think Seattle could absolutely get in for a wild card spot. You know what I mean? They're playing well. Nothing amazing. They don't blow you away with their wins. They don't have any big time wins. You know what I mean? But like they're finding ways to win. They're winning. The Rams, are not a good football team. I think they pick up another win right now. Against the Rams, and that's gonna put them at 7-3. And like 7-3, like damn. But like they do not play like that record. You know what I
They
mean?
don't. Yeah.
But Gino had a good game last week, and we'll see if he
Mm.
can continue that. They made some moves along the defensive line, and we'll see. I'm gonna take Seattle here. Just mismatch. Rams are really bad.
Yeah, and Matthew Stafford's been injured. I'm not sure if he's going to be back this game or not, but I'm
No.
going to go Seahawks here as
He
well.
might.
I think he's like
But I,
questionable right
I don't think
now.
it's gonna matter. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's quite
yeah.
questionable. Yep.
I'm gonna go Seahawks here as well, but I will say I like that Hammer brought that up. I think they are the Jaguars of the NFC. They're kind of my
Kinda.
frauds
Yep.
in the NFC, and I said that last week as well. Their kicker had 17 their points in the win, so like they're relying heavily on their kicker right now. Geno Smith's a little bit down, but I think their defense at least will keep them in this game. I think they win.
Yep. I just looked it up. Matthew Stafford will start this game. I don't think that changes my pick or your pick. Like, you know what?
Yeah, it doesn't, but it keeps it interesting.
He's been out for 2-3 weeks. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I think Seattle's just a better team overall too. So we're gonna keep it with Seattle.
Yeah.
Sunday night game, nothing to get crazy about unless you're a Joshua Dobbs fan.
I don't know, man.
Jenks,
This is an interesting game.
Jenks knows, big Dobbs guy.
Okay, I'll let you make your pick, and then I got some
All
things
right.
to say. I
All
got some
right,
things
so
to
the
say about it.
Vikings coming off a really big time, nice win at home with their new QB, Josh Dobbs, over the Saints. Played pretty good, damn good. Numbers don't lie. Jenks has some comments to say about that a little later, but hey, the Vikings are kind of turning, turning the corner. They're 6-4 now. You know what I mean? Out of nowhere. And they're looking for a wild card spot. I don't think they're gonna catch up to Detroit. You know what I mean? But like they're playing good. Dobbs is playing good. They've been finding ways to win without Justin Jefferson, and like they're gonna get him back in the near future. Maybe perhaps this game. Broncos on the other hand too. I think they won 3 straight against the
2 or
Packers,
3,
Chiefs,
yeah.
and then Buffalo. They're
Yeah,
getting
2
hot.
contenders in there too, yeah.
Yeah, they're getting hot. You mean 3, right?
No, I
Okay.
mean 2. I mean 2.
I know. I was trying to get a laugh there, but
I was like, what the hell is he talking
all right.
about?
Yeah. Go Pack go. So the Broncos are 4-5, just won 3 straight. They're pretty hot at home. I think this is a really, really fun game, interesting game. Like both teams are like not the best and started pretty down the beginning of the year, but like they're both kind of finding their stride right now mid-season. It's a fun Sunday night matchup in the Mile High. This is a tough one. I'm going to go with Minnesota though. I think they're playing better football all around, and I don't know. I like what Josh Dobbs is doing. He might be a Viking, but I did pick him up in fantasy to be a backup quarterback. So I don't know. I like the way he's playing. I think it's fun watching him, like this comeback story. You know what I mean? He's kind of like a Geno Smith. You know what I mean? Like got drafted a couple
Yeah.
years ago. Had some opportunities and never. You know what I mean? It
He's
came in the B. He bounced around a little bit, and he has found found a home in Arizona. Looked like he was doing pretty good there. Then he gets traded here to Minnesota. Leads what 2 wins against Atlanta and then the Saints,
mhm.
and now he's got an opportunity to make it 3 in a row. So sadly I'm gonna go with the Vikings.
Yeah, I have a few things to say. First of all, I like to talk about Josh Dobbs, but I will say this: the Saints shut him down in the second half, and although like that's the Saints' second half adjustment D, we have like one of the best second half defenses in the league. They figured it out,
Not against Jordan
and
Love.
they should have figured it out. Okay, they should have figured it out in the first half because they literally all they're doing is just sending the house, and he's getting wide open. We had a spy, and he just like was taking terrible angles, but. I think it's interesting. Josh Dobbs, I think he'll play a good game, but I think the Broncos defense kind of holds him up a little bit this week. And my second underdog of the week is going to be the Broncos here. I'm going to go underdogs, Broncos beating them in Denver, Mile High Stadium, beating the Vikings. And I did like the comparison of Geno Smith with Josh Dobbs
Thank you.
from
Thank
last
you.
year.
Thank you. Yeah.
And quick thing, although it does feel like he's only been in the league for a couple years, somehow Josh Dobbs has been in the league since 2018. So the guy's up there, but
5
hasn't been
years,
playing much
6
at all.
years. Yeah.
Yeah, which is like it doesn't seem like, but yeah, it's kind of wild.
Yeah. No, I knew he was a little bit on the older side. I knew he got drafted a little like 17, 18.
Yeah, it's kind of
But
weird though.
but
It
yeah.
doesn't seem like it.
Yeah, I know. He seems like a vet. I mean, no, he seems like a young guy, but he is a vet. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
he's been around this league for a while. But yeah. But good for him, you know what I mean? It's like Geno Smith. He's kind of just found his groove, you know what I mean? Sometimes, for these guys it just takes a couple of years to click, you know what I mean? And something beautiful can blossom. Um Monday Night Football, this is another really, really good matchup. Eagles, Chiefs, a Super Bowl rematch. Like, this is awesome. Both teams playing pretty good. Chiefs, a little bit in the slump, but they're able to beat the Dolphins. Well, they just had their bye week, but the week before they were able to beat the Dolphins in Germany, which is a big time win. Dolphins are a good team. I know they haven't beaten anyone good, but hey, to make the plays that they did on defense to stop those weapons from that was pretty
that
impressive
lateral
by
play.
the Chiefs. Yeah, that was pretty impressive by the Chiefs. And for Philly, I mean, they're the best team in football right now, hands down. They're the most physical. They get after you. They can run the ball. They can throw the ball to A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. That defensive line is nasty. They made some moves in the secondary. They're the best team in football right now. But this is not in Philadelphia. This is an Arrowhead. So that makes it a little bit tougher. This is a coin flip, really. You could go either way right now. I'm going to be a little safer, and I'm going to go with the Eagles. I think they're just the better team overall. They're hot. You know what I mean? Chiefs are coming off a bye. Actually, they're both coming off buys. Yeah, they're both coming off buys.
Yeah.
So, that plays a factor too. Maybe this game starts a little bit slower than some people think, but I'm just going to go with the Eagles. I think they're the better team overall, and they're just hotter. You know what I mean? They're 8-1. So, yeah.
Yeah. I don't mind that pick. And honestly, I was probably leaning that way, but until you said that pick, right up until you said that pick, and now I think I'm going to switch it up a little bit. I'm wearing the red. I'm feeling it. My gut's feeling it. I'm gonna go Chiefs. Red Kingdom. Let's hear you next
Okay.
Monday. I'm hoping they can pull that out. It is a tough game. The Eagles haven't looked like themselves from last year. I mean, they have been playing really well physically, everything like that, but they haven't had a huge blowout win yet that we saw from them
Nah.
last year. They haven't had that. The Chiefs haven't had it either. So this is an interesting game, like you said. But I'm gonna stick with the Chiefs here. I think we have a vintage Mahomes and Kelce night tomorrow or on Monday night.
Hey, I hope. I just traded for Mahomes in fantasy with Kelsey. That's a pretty damn good stack, Hammer. Good job there, GM. Hey, but hopefully, they load up the scoreboard and it's a high scoring game. But
It
I
should
don't know.
be.
I'm thinking somewhere in the 20s, and I think Philadelphia's gonna win. Just better team. You know what I
I
mean? And
like it.
just you know what? Mahomes has not really been playing too good past
He
couple of
hasn't.
weeks.
Bounce
So
back.
like that's the thing too. It's like this is a tough team to do it against, yes, but like it's also Mahomes and like exactly like he's been in a slump and you're going against a tough team and that's why he's considered one of the all-time greats. He's gonna when the lights are on, big bright at home against the best team in the NFL, like he's gonna turn it on. So you can go either way. I'm gonna go Philly. Jack is gonna go Kansas City. Teams on bye: the Falcons, Colts, Patriots, and Jenks.
Woof.
Jenks' Saints.
Here, let me tell you. We said last week there was like all these contenders on bye weeks, and now just look at it and it's like, God,
Yeah.
this is the crappier teams this week on bye weeks. So we
Yeah.
won't be missing a lot on Sunday.
No. But that's gonna do it for Week 11 picks. We're gonna talk about a little fantasy football. Talk about me and Jenks's historic comeback.
Yeah, we're basically like Sonny Weaver on draft day, pulling off some
Basically, the
crazy
moves that
trades.
we made to revamp this team, to beat the best team in the league, best team in the league. I don't even think so, but we did it, and we're gonna tell you how we did it coming up.
All right, guys, like Hammer just said, we did have a few trades that were pretty blockbuster in our league together as owners. And for the loser of the league, unfortunately, they had to go take an SAT. They had to take an SAT one more time. And for everyone in that league, it's like a bunch of college guys or graduated college guys. So sitting for SAT would not be fun at that age. And Hammer and I were sitting there. We're at the bottom of the barrel, low points for. We're just like, what the hell can we do to turn this team around? And I think we made some moves that really did it. And let's hear your guys' thoughts. So the
A
first
little,
trade
hold on, a little background too. These trades happened like all
all
in
in
a
one
row,
night.
like bang, bang, bang. Like it was like, you know what I mean? It was like nonstop, and everyone in the league was just getting these alerts, and you're like, what was this team? What's this team cooking up? What are they doing? Do we have to veto everything? They had no clue.
Yeah, because we were like scheming, like for a whole day. We were kind of
Yeah,
scheming the
yeah.
team,
Like, all right, trade that, but then we need to receive this, and then we were.
and
It was
and
good.
then it all happened back to back to back, right after we recorded
Yep.
last week's episode.
And it paid
So
off. And it paid off.
yeah, and this first trade. So you guys might like read it off the bat and think, oh, there's not much value there for them. But for what we needed and the strengths that we had on as a team, this was like really huge for us. So the first trade, this was the one that kind of set everything off, kind of turned everything around so we could make the other trades. So the first trade we made was we traded Kenneth Walker, Bijan Robinson, Debo Samuel, and Jonnu Smith for Amon-Ra St. Brown, the Sun God, and Aaron Jones. And so for everyone who didn't know or who doesn't know, our team was terrible receiver-wise, like no consistency, no high scoring. And now we got that receiver one that we can rely on every single week to provide lots of points. And
Yep.
Chris Olave and Devontae Adams kind of turned it around last week as well. So
And Debo's a loss, but you know what? He's been a little banged up, and anyone in that San Fran offense besides McCaffrey can be a little questionable because they got
mhm.
just so many weapons. Kenneth Walker was probably the toughest to give up. He's been playing really good for us. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Bijan, we all know, has just been like hasn't worked out. You know what I mean? In the beginning, like he was consistent. He wasn't getting you anything crazy. He was getting you probably like 12, 14 points a week. That's it, like solid. And then the past, I want to say month has just been nothing. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
we had to move on.
He did finally score last week, but like who really cares?
I don't know.
Amon
But
Ross
then
scored like
and
30
then
for us.
we get St. Brown who's really consistent, and you get back Aaron Jones who has that high ceiling. You know what I mean? Kind of like he can explode on any week. He gets a lot of touches for Green Bay. He's like the only veteran on offense. So we were like, you know what? We gotta, we had to
Screw it,
get some running back in return.
Yeah, and then the next move we made was to kind of get another receiver for us. We just traded Deshaun Watson for Jerry Jeudy because
Get,
we
get,
had
get
an
Chase.
excess at QBs, yeah.
Yeah.
And we were like, we need another bench receiver, So
So
Jerry Jeudy,
our QBs with Dak,
bench.
Jared Goff, and Watson. You're like, you know what? We're gonna trade Watson. So this team needs QB. Get a little depth at receiver. Ends up working pretty good because hey, Judy's not bad to be a fourth receiver, and Watson is now out for the year. So
Yeah, not bad. It worked out for us. And then the last trade we made was to acquire Taysom Hill as tight end, and we traded Jahan Dotson and AJ Dillon. We sold Jahan Dotson kind of high, and they wanted a running back, so we threw in AJ Dillon. And we didn't mind the trade because we needed a tight end that really could add a high ceiling for our team. So Taysom Hill was kind of the right guy for us. So now our starting lineup is going to be Dak Prescott, Gus Edwards, and Najee Harris, or Najee Harris and Aaron Jones. And then Devontae Adams, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Taysom Hill, whoever the flex is that week. Usually it's going to be Devontae Adams or Chris Olave. And then we got Chiefs defense, been solid for us every week so far. And then Brandon Aubrey, the number 2 kicker in the league, I believe, this year. So solid. So on that news, we'll turn into our fantasy league with you guys, our subscribers, and we'll do a quick recap. And for me, it was another good week. For Hammer, not so much, but he's still in second place, so it's not really too big of a deal.
Take it easy.
So the winners this week were Gloves Didn't Fit Thomas Brown yet again, 3-1, or on a 3-game win streak with 9-1 as his record. So we all know he's clinched the playoffs. Hopefully someone knocks him off. Then on a 2-game win streak, we got Nicholas Lewis, Rainbow Herbert. His team's looking good again as well. 7-3. Hammer's on your tail. 3-game win streak.
And I play him this weekend.
Oh, so that's a big matchup this week. Yeah,
Very
Hammer.
big game for second place.
He actually texted me. Hammer. He was like, Hammer needs to watch out. I got him on the week that Deshaun Watson goes down, and he's got Amari Cooper, and so watch out. Anyways, 3-game win streak. We got Paul Burnson, the Kirkgrave Cardinals, who I play. So hopefully I'm able to pull out a upset there. 1-game win streak. We got Christian Diaz wearing number 0 yet again. He's 6-4. And then on a 4-game win streak, 4 games. It's snowballing, Hammer. I told you a few weeks ago it's going to be a snowball effect.
5-5 now.
You
Look
heard
at you.
it. Yeah. Look at that. 5-5. Started off at 1-5. We're making the playoffs, baby, hopefully. So, Team Jenks. Finally, the last one of the week is JAD Aiden Davis on a 1-game win streak at 3-7. So, hopefully I'm able to keep it up and make the playoffs.
Yeah, so that's going to do it for this episode. Jenks, closing thoughts before week 11?
Oh, man. Sometimes I just got to be grateful that the Saints don't play this week. Anyways, I will say I hope they bring in Ken Dorsey, possibly. Bring him in as either OC or just a consultant. Just bring him in and say, hey, what are your thoughts on our offense? What can we do to make it better? Because Pete Carmichael, he's not doing it. That's all I got to say.
Nice. Yeah, sometimes it's nice to take a break, Team's got a bye week. No stressing, you know what I mean? I get it. I wish we had another bye week coming up, but we don't. So I just got this for eight more weeks, two more months is what it is. All right, so that's going to do it. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at Jenks Hammer Pod. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube at Jenks Hammer Podcast. If you watch on YouTube, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Comment your favorite team. Comment your underdog pick of the week. We want to hear it. So have a good week.
Thank you for tuning in to the Jenks and the Hammer podcast. Remember to leave a review and follow all of our social media pages at Jenks Hammer Pod for more content. Until next time, who dat and go Pack Go!